being stirred up in your soul, when you feel like the Holy Spirit is moving and speaking, when you feel like you sincerely and you know that God has a word for you, and you're like, oh Lord, where are we going with this? What is going on now, Lord? There's some things that some of you are still questioning in life, which questions are always going to arise. But there comes a time when those questions become so bothersome to the point where it's a heavy weight. It's a heavy weight that you're carrying. It can be something so serious where it's like, goodness, every time the phone rings from that particular person, every time a text comes through, every time an email, any form of communication or a word being sent through somebody to tell you hi, that it just makes you cringe because you know something in your heart is still not aligned with how that person may have treated you. You feel like you have forgiven this person over and over again, only for them to continue to repeat the same incidental situations, conversations to make you feel however they have made you feel. Now, some people believe in getting all worked up. Sometimes, though, that's trickery of the enemy, wanting to use your mind for destruction. Sometimes you really have to take in consideration, depending on how you respond, because that can be the start of something or that can be the end of something. But I'm going to tell y'all, when these fiery darts come, they honestly, I do believe they come along to make you stronger. This life was not promised not to have any form of adversity, difficulties, situations that can make us uncomfortable. But sometimes we got to get uncomfortable in order to get comfortable. You cannot go in life cutting everybody off because there, again, it still has not been resolved. But when you truly, truly know that you know that you know you are handing it over and giving it to God because you finally realize I cannot handle this spirit, this toxic spirit, the spirit of jealousy, the spirit of destruction, this spirit that has been unmasked. Every time they come around, they speak in negativity over my life. And there again, you don't know what people are doing behind closed doors when they are speaking against you, when they're speaking against other family members, when they speaking against co-workers, when they speak in negativity, destruction in the lives of the people that you're connected to, because these spirits like to connect with other spirits to become strong. And next thing you know, you're dealing with a parade to run into the same type of spirit because you have not let go to let God to be in control in the head of your life. You cannot handle these situations out here, these powers and principalities that's coming without the full armor of God. It won't work. So as they continue to call, as they continue to text, as they continue to send word, or as they continue to tell you that love you, how you doing, how you been, as they continue to ask you questions. How's it going at home? How's your kids doing? How is it going to try to dig deeper and deeper to the point where they finally tell you how they really feel and where this conversation is really going and how they don't like you and never cared for you to begin with? Study bringing up the past, however many years ago. Sometimes it can even go as far back to go through the generations, down to the great grandparents. The next thing you know, that's being passed to another generation that's done caught up with your generation because of what has been said through the years. It's very interesting in life how conversations can travel, how spirits can travel, how energy can travel and be translated. But there again, when you serve a God who sits high and looks low, when you serve a God that sees every tear that has fallen onto your face, that has streamed onto your face, when you serve a God that knows that your heart is pure and you are ready to let go and let God, you are safe. You are safe in his arms. When you know that you are continuously being tried, because I'm going to tell y'all, if you don't get these spirits in check, it's another one that's going to come. And it's another one that's going to come. Sometimes it's question, why do I seem to be attracting these type of people? And you don't know from one day to the next how you're going to be connected. You could be simply at the gas station making a purchase for a candy bar. You ain't even got to be filling up your tank. You just happen to be stopping like, I don't even know what made me even stop for this candy bar. I ain't had a Snickers in I don't know how long. I ain't had a payday in I don't know how long. And today just happened to be the day. Somebody just happened to say something to you that just maybe rub you the wrong way. And you like, why is people always pointing that out about me? I've had family members to mention that. Now here go this stranger. You got to get these spirits in check. But the only way you're going to be able to do it, you got to honestly hand it over. And then if you are carrying a heart and already have a made up mind that I'm not going to forgive that person. That weight can be so strenuous. You think it's can be a workout in itself, however much you might be trying to bench press or how many weights you using in the form of exercising. The mind itself carries so many thoughts a day on average. However many thoughts a day on average. And just to think, to have the thought of an unforgiving heart. You cannot cut everybody off. Now, when I have talked about a season of isolation, don't you know that that very person could be going through a season of isolation of themselves where God is revealing what type of person that they have been? This, honestly, I feel is the season where reconciliation is taking place. As things continue to study, be revealed, as things continue that maybe you have questioned about different ones, like why are they acting like this? Like what's going on? Hurt people sometimes hurt people, what people carry. Now, some people don't want to get well as far as keep being that same toxic person. Some people just want to be stuck. You know, not everybody can go with you. Not everybody can be in a state of deliverance. And not everybody is not always on your time. How people operate in their own season, only God knows. And the heart can be deceitful. Not everybody is ready. Not and when people, it makes people so mad too. Because see, during the season of isolation, during the period of isolation, when you're going through that cycle, I'm telling y'all, that's when things is honestly starting to be unmasked to those people. Because now they're like, wait a minute. I can't say the same thing that I've said before. I can't act the same way. I can't do what I was doing. They know something is different. But it's going to ultimately take God. Meaning you really truly, if you're ready, when you're ready, if you're ready to truly let go and to start that phase of, okay, enough is enough. Because again, if it doesn't stop, because there's other things that are always going to come up, but that's another situation. You still got to keep giving it over to God. Every day it's going to be something, because if it's not you, then it might be your other half. If it ain't your other half, it might be a coworker that you truly care about and you want the best for them, and they might need a word. It's always going to be something. Somebody is always going to need a word of encouragement. Somebody is always going to need to know that they going to make it. Just like you going to make it when you know that you know, and you know the steps that you took to get you there. You know with scriptures that you had to quote. You know when you was walking alone in a period of isolation. You know that's the person that you normally go to lunch with. That's your good friend right there. But they've been revealed. Not only have they been revealed to you and what you needed to do in order to let go, let go, let God, but they've been revealed to themselves. So now they need to go into their own phase if they want to continue to be friends. And that's such a word that we sometimes use so comfortably. We have to really be careful and aware who we reference as our friends. We have to really be careful how far we really put ourselves out there and what information that we share, because the very thing sometimes that we share sometimes can be used against us. We have to really get to know people. We can't always just move too fast, but we also have to be in alignment to have discernment when to speak, when not to speak. Because not everybody is meant to even enter into your life. Not everybody is supposed to even be necessarily in our lives for however long we would necessarily like for them to be, or how necessarily they would like to be in our lives. Because sometimes people do come into our lives just for a season, whether they're bringing good or whether they bringing bad. Because in this world, everybody is not for the betterment of mankind. In this world, everybody is not wanting to see the world be a better place. That's why we have to stay prayed up as well. Like, we don't want to wait. We don't want to wait. We want to stay in prayer. We want to stay in our Bible. We want to stay in fellowship in our own mind with something positive, because there goes a time too sometimes when people are speaking negative over you or just saying it directly. We got to know how to replace that. Soon as you give your mind over to somebody to allow them to dictate who you are, to be the author of your life, now it's not supposed to go like that. Now we do know who the author and finisher is, the Alpha and Omega. Because again, you are the head and not the tail. You are to make your own decisions, what is best for you. If you feel like you need to close that door for right now or for however long, do what's best for you. Because there's no need to allow these outside spirits, these toxic spirits, to come into your life and make a mess out of your life. Because soon as you allow that and you feel like, oh my Lord, now my life getting messy, you gonna screw that off on somebody else. You're gonna be talking to your kids differently. You're gonna be talking to your other half differently. You're gonna be going into the workplace differently. People gonna know it's something different, but people also gonna know it's something different about you when you are in alignment. People's also gonna know when you the one that is chosen. Because face it, being chosen, being having that anointing on you, being a child of God, you ain't never gonna fit in. Never. If they ain't for the right thing, you are never going to be able to identify and be cool like that. It just doesn't work. It's always going to be on you. Now, the joy of the Lord is your strength. Continue to get the breakthrough. Continue to let go and let God. Continue to let God use you. Because soon as you change it up and try to fit in or try to accept this person, bringing this toxic side into your life, they will continue and it will change your whole outlook on life. And you will not be saying, the joy of the Lord is my strength. Don't ever let nobody take your joy away.